Welcome to Safe Money Retirement Radio with your host, Tim Wood. Tim is a certified financial fiduciary and a no-market risk retirement and income specialist, and the owner of SafeMoneyRetirement.com, primarily serving Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and Southwest Virginia. But he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Wood is a licensed life insurance professional in multiple states and specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies. And now, here to talk with you about no market risk retirement planning, your host, Tim Wood.
Welcome to Safe Money Retirement Radio. I'm Tim Wood, an asset and retirement protection specialist. After almost 2 years of writing, I released my book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, back in 2022. Today, I'm thrilled to have journalist and podcast pioneer Doug Sandler with Turnkey Podcast Productions with me to discuss the 8th chapter of my book. Welcome to Safe Money Retirement Radio, Doug.
Hey, thanks, Tim. 8th chapter. It's like the 8th wonder of the world. I'm ready to talk about this. And I'm always excited to talk to you, Tim, because your expertise is deep. And I know your passion for the subject that you talk about is as well. And I love talking to best-selling authors to get more details about the stories they share. And you have a lot of great stories. Stay tuned for all of our listening audience for the chapter 9 that's going to come up. Tim actually has some great stories that he's going to share, but we're really going to get into the meat of this. We decided to break chapter 8 into 2 episodes for this chapter because there's so much to discuss. Now, first, we're going to explore income plans. And on the next episode, we're going to talk about growth plans. So let's dive into chapter 8. Chapter 8 is titled The Key to Peace of Mind and Income You Can't Outlive and Growth with No Losses. Tim, can you remind our listeners of the difference between income and IFcome? Because these are great. So income and IFcome.
Absolutely. Income, the way that I look at it when I'm making a plan for someone, anything that they're going to call income needs to be guaranteed income. You know you're going to get it. I'm talking things like pensions you can't outlive. And if you've got a pension and you pass, what's the survivorship for your spouse? I'm talking about Social Security. I'm talking about if you own rental properties and you don't plan on selling them and you've got a constant income coming in every single month from them, minus your average expenses, what's that? So an income is something that is guaranteed. Another thing that would be income are guaranteed income annuity payments. So anything that's guaranteed is an income. And IFcome is if you're just taking money out of an account and you're hoping it's going to last forever. Doing and following the 4% rule would be IFcome, because I have people come to me all the time. Well, my financial planner just showed me that I'm good until age 85. Okay, that's great. What happens if you live to 89? What happens if you live to 95? Yeah. What happens if you live to over 100? So that's the difference between income and IFcome. We make sure, and the plans that I work specifically with people on is making sure you have enough guaranteed income to cover your expenses for the rest of your life, no matter how long you and your spouse lives. That's the difference in income and IFcome, because IFcome doesn't give you those guarantees. It just is basically on a wing and a prayer and hopes that you're going to have enough money.
In chapter 8, Tim, you share a story about how winning in football isn't just about scoring points. It's also about keeping the other team from scoring points. And I was a little bit like, okay, how is he going to relate this to retirement? And you really do a great job at it. How does the plan of what we just discussed relate to retirement?
Well, the way it relates to retirement is, and yeah, there's a bunch of really popular, really famous quotes that say defense wins championships. Paul Bear Bryant was the first one to say that, legendary coach of Alabama. And what I mean by that is in retirement, yes, you've got to have offense. You've got to have gains. You've got to have everything set, but you've also got to have defense. And what I meant by that analogy is you've got to protect your retirement from basically, shall we say, the other team. Inflation, government taxes is a huge one. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of different things that can come at you. Healthcare expenses, market risk. I mean, there's a bunch of different things that can come at you. That would be, basically, like I used the football analogy, the opposite of your offense would be the defense. So not only does your offense have to do good, but you've got to have a really good defense to keep all those other things at bay. So inflation doesn't wipe you out. So a market event doesn't wipe you out. So You don't take your retirement at the wrong time, and then, a sequence of events thing wipes you out, or healthcare cost wipe you out, or long-term care. There's a bunch of different things that could be on the other side of the line. You've just got to make sure not only do you have a good growth or a good income plan, you've also got to make sure that you've got your defenses set up against all of those things that can come after you.
So talk to our audience for a second about the elephant in the room, and sometimes used as that 4-letter word in chapter 8, and the face that people make when you talk about that, again, that 4-letter word, that your grandfather's annuity, because I think that that's oftentimes what people are thinking about. And then maybe share a little bit of a quick definition of what an annuity really is.
Sure, absolutely. I'll tell you what, let me start with that real quick. An annuity is super simple. People have built so much up around it. All an annuity is a contract with a life insurance company. That's it, period. That's all an annuity is. It's a contract with a life insurance company. So if you make sure you're with an A-rated life insurance company, it's one of the safest things that you can do with your money. One of the things also that I did in the book was I had a section called the historical bellwether.
Mm-hmm.
And that basically was talking about, let's look back to look forward. So if we were to look back, what's the most volatile time in our history as a country? And it would, of course, be the Great Depression. Well, there were very few industries that survived, but guess what one of them was? Life insurance. So basically what that's doing is it's giving you the opportunity to essentially overcome anything that can happen. That's what an annuity is. Now, why do people have a bad taste in their mouth, so to speak, about annuities? Because there's a lot of bad ones out there, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
You read in my book, I'm sure, I wouldn't touch about 90% of the annuities out there with a 10-foot pole. There are a lot of them out there that are still bad. I have people come to me all the time and show me paperwork. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had a lady come in. She's paying 3.75% annually on a variable annuity that can still lose money. And she's paying 3.75% at the same time. Death spiral. Plus, she was wanting to take income out. So that's why annuities have a bad name, because for years, there were a lot of annuities out there. I'll just say that you shouldn't have bought. Things have changed over the last 20 years. So that's why Safe Money Retirement now, this certainly isn't all that we do as annuities. Please don't get me wrong. It's not all that we do, but a large portion of what we do is in the annuity field, simply because they're the only type of contracts out there that can do what we're talking about. They're the only thing that can guarantee you a paycheck for the rest of your life, no matter how long you live. You know what I mean? There's no other product out there that can do that other than a pension. And this basically is almost like setting up your own pension.
So Tim's offering our listeners a copy of his book absolutely free. All you have to do is call 844-905-SAFE or visit safemoneyretirement.com to get your free copy.
That was part 1 of the first section of my interview with Doug Sandler on chapter 8 of my book, Safe Money Part 3, The Key to Peace of Mind. Stay tuned next week for part 2 of section 1. Are you ready to step away from all of the risks and have your own safe money retirement? A copy of my book can help be a roadmap to get you there. Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, was written to help educate soon-to-be retirees or current retirees about what their options really are in retirement. Options for gains with no losses, options for income that you cannot outlive or your spouse can't outlive. You need to know what your options really are and how you can work with a certified financial fiduciary to make sure that you are in the best option. And my book can help. I will give you a copy absolutely free. Just give us a call, 844-905-SAFE. That's 844-905-7233. Or just log right onto our website at safemoneyretirement.com and register for your free book right now. Well, I'm about out of time, and I would like to thank you for listening to Safe Money Retirement Radio. If you're serious about your financial future, give me a call, and together we'll get your retirement savings on the fast track to accumulate while reducing exposure to market risk. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Tim Wood, reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to Safe Money Retirement Radio with your host, Tim Wood. Find out how to guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe with locked-in returns that will never go down due to market risk, so you can have the future that you deserve. Call Tim Wood now for your free copy of his #1 best-selling book, Safe Money Retirement, your game plan for success, along with the free Safe Money Retirement Information Kit at 844-905-SAFE. That's 844-905-7233. Or visit him online for more details at safemoneyretirement.com. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.